Hi there, this is Rishabh again and I welcome you to the Python Hackerrank Series. We started in the previous video by solving the basic challenge and we learned about the basics of the platform itself, that how exactly we can solve the different challenges, how exactly we can run our code and so on. Now in this video we are going to solve the next challenge. So as you can see that I am on the introduction subdomain where we are solving very basic challenges to begin with. So the next challenge which we have to solve is the Python if else. So let me just click on solve challenge. Interesting. So yeah, here is the task. Let's read through the task. It says that given an integer n, perform the following conditional actions. If n is odd, print weird. If n is even and in the inclusive range of 2 to 5, print not weird. If n is even and in the inclusive range of 6 to 20, print weird. If n is even and greater than 20, print not weird. A single line containing, like this is the input, how exactly the input is given to you. So a single line is given which is containing a positive integer n, and then the constraints of the problem are that n lies between 1 and 100, both inclusive. That means it can be 1 as well as 100. After that, output format print weird if the number is weird, otherwise print not weird. Interesting. Then we have sample input 0 where 3 is given and the sample output is weird. So as you can see, this problem is all about application of certain conditions, certain if-else conditions. We have already learned about if-else conditions in the Python3 series. If you have not seen those videos, I request you to go back and watch those videos and then come back and to solve this problem. Okay, now if you note that on the wider scale we have to check whether the number is odd or even, because 50% of the numbers will be odd, 50% of the numbers will be even, because the range is 1 to 100. So there are a total of 100 numbers which can be the part of the input, right? And out of those, 50% probability is that the number is going to be even and 50% probability is that the number is going to be odd. Now in case the number is odd, then anyway we have to print weird only, whereas if the number is even, then we have to put in certain conditions. So let's start with the first condition, which is if n%2 is not equal to 0. So we are saying if n%2 is not equal to 0, meaning that if the number is odd, then we can simply say print and then we can write weird. Awesome. Now we can say, simply say else. This is one of the ways of doing it. Now we have actually covered the 50% scenarios here, right? And now we will be adding, now we know that the number is even. But even in even we have multiple scenarios here. Now this is where things actually get interesting. So let's just go ahead and do these. Now in the else condition, if you notice that these are the three things which we have to keep in mind. So if n is even and in the inclusive range of 2 to 5, which means anything less than 6, then we have to print not weird. Similarly, if n is even and greater than 20, then we have to print not weird. Now if you notice that our condition which we have added here, that is the if condition, it is already taking care of the 50% scenarios, and any number which is coming in the else is definitely going to be an even number only. So we really don't need to care about this condition, that whether the number is even or not, because it is given that the number is even. That's the use of using this else here. Now what is it that we actually need to care of? That is this weird. So if the number is in the range of 6 to 20, then we have to print weird, otherwise we can simply say it's not a weird number, right? So let's do that. Let's check the range of the number. If n is greater than or equal to 6 and n is less than or equal to 20, right? So yes, 6 to 20, then we can say that print weird. Now if you see, there is just one else condition left for rest of the numbers, and we can simply say print not weird. Great. So Let's just do a quick dry run on our own problem. Let us just take some random example. For example, let's take 41 as an example. Now 41 is an odd number, so if you see that n%2 is not going to be equal to 0, and it should definitely print weird. Now let's take an example of any number which is even and in this range, that is n greater than 6 and n less than 20. Let's take example of n is equal to 12. So n%2 is 0, so this condition will not be executed and it will fall under this else condition. Is it greater than or equal to 6 and less than or equal to 20? Well, yes, and therefore this condition will get executed. What could be an example of an even number which is not inside of this range? So let's take an example of, let's say, 24. So 24 will not fall under this condition and it will automatically be taken care of by this else condition. So now let us just go ahead and try to execute this code. Let's just click run code. It is processing, and congratulations, sample test case 1 is passed, sample test case 2 is passed. Now let me go ahead and submit the code. Interesting, all the test cases have passed, so we have solved the problem. Now there is one thing which I would like to tell you. There are better ways of checking. I won't say better ways, but different ways of checking whether a given number is odd or even. We will talk about those when we discuss data structures and algorithms, but for now we will be happy with this solution only. So because the idea was to learn about if and else. So I hope you enjoyed solving this problem. That's it for this video. Like, this is the problem which we wanted to discuss in this video. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching. See you and bye bye.